All right, so today's video, we're watching a Silver Cassidy. In this game, this Cassidy is gonna get 61 limbs. But the question is that enough to win? Let's find out, let's go! All right, let's see what happens, chat. This is Silver, by the way, chat, Silver. Good job stopping the res. Okay, this is 61 limbs, you said? Okay. So far, it's been very interesting because your movement's been a lot of you standing still there, but then nobody's looking at you, so if it works, right? Like, technically, the position is fairly solid here. Nice shot. But they're not really looking for you. So you're just, like, sitting up here and nobody's, like, looking at you. This is great. I mean, this is wonderful. If I could play Cass and do this, I'd be sitting up here all day. Oh, if that was me, I would have been one shot already. 1000%. Dude, what? I don't understand how that took 2 minutes. I'm just surprised. You won't go back to that same spot you were at before. Was that Soldier 76 just shooting one bullet at a time? All right. I pronounce like worm. Thank you for the tier 1. Thank you, appreciate it. Be careful here. I say be careful here. You've been running around the map, do whatever you want. Have fun. Go ahead, Dad. Wow.
No one can hold me down.
There is a Cassidy on your flank. I repeat, there is a Cassidy on your flank. There's a Cassidy on your flank. A right-click Randy is on your flank. Okay, no one's even going for him. It's such an interesting game so far because, like, your positioning and, like, your movement is, like, you're very... You get to a spot and you kind of stand there. But then, like, nobody on their team is really going for you, so it's like you're just getting free limbs left and right. But, like, wow, there's a Cassidy right there. They're like, you know what? You're right. And that's it. That's just the response. There's no, like, okay, let's go for the cast. There's a cast there, and you are correct on that statement. All right, here we go.
We don't know when to quit.
This is the type of situations, by the way, where you're not having a problem, like, getting the limbs, but then you make that play. You have essentially a 3v3, maybe even a numbers advantage. And your first play is to roll into their back line. You need to, like, recognize, okay, we're up in numbers, let's just give it a second. Let's just not go into their team. They're not even looking at you. Like, I would have been two-shot by that Zenyatta. There's a Cassidy in the window. There's a Cassidy in the window. There we go. They're standing still in the window. I don't... They're looking up! Thank you! Now look again! Don't just look away! This proves the high ground talk we have. This is making great use of high ground. So, like, one thing that you do, if you keep this playstyle, you're gonna probably get rolled. I like the high ground, but I need you to, like, get in the limb, and then it's okay just to stop for a second and just wait, and then go again. This is fine. Working with your team here is fine. I'm more worried about when you get, like, 2 picks and you just run into their team. All right? And the stand is still a little bit, but, like, you're seeing a bit more movement now. So it's like, it's working, but it's more of, like, getting to the idea of that. You know what I mean? It's still good. I mean, like I said, I mean, it's a 61 a limb game, so it's gonna be good. But it's just funny because, like, I was expecting, I didn't know what to expect with a 61 a limb game on Cass. You hit your shots more often than not, except when you don't. So you hit your shots like 50% of the time, which is half the time, or maybe less than that. But sometimes you do, and then sometimes you don't. But then you do sometimes. So sometimes you hit shots, and sometimes you don't. No, but, like, you are hitting your shots. Like, that right there is what we've seen sometimes. You see that right there? Like, that's good aim. That right there is what will keep you climbing through ranks. But your positioning is what will stop you from climbing through ranks. I like how it takes a year and a half to lock onto the Mauga. Like, I can't imagine, like, what, like... I can't imagine, like, what the call-outs are. Like, like, this is what I imagine is going on the other team.
Hey, there's a Cassidy on the flank. Wow. Yep. There's a Cassidy up on the high ground up there. Yeah, that's sweet.
Let's see how this goes in the next half. You said they have a silencer on there. Yeah, I mean, that's what it feels like. You said for you, an accurate and calm in your rank game is nothing? Listen, I like to imagine there's at least that, you know? I like how the soldier tried to go to the spot that you went at and just got absolutely rolled. They're like, yeah, it worked for their Cass. Just fell over immediately. Oh, man. What a hinder that was. Your aim's good, by the way. I will say this, like, if you're struggling to climb, I really think what's gonna be your issue is not gonna be your aim, because I think your aim is fairly accurate. It's gonna be your positioning, and you're like, you have a tendency to over push after you make a play, and you sometimes will just stand still. And it works right now, but as you climb, that won't work as much.
Smoke, there's fire.
I mean, you're just good at gas. I want to look at some more details here. Yeah, this is. Everything seems fine here too. Looking at this. Did you bet the enemy teams? I don't know if they're. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think they are. Like this is like. You're gonna see this happen. You can correct me if I'm wrong. There seem to be enough hours on the account for that. But I think what's happened is this is someone who has good aim, but they just end up doing the same, like their positioning and how they react to getting in a limb doesn't always work. It's more than likely somebody who has good aim, but like when they get to rank, it turns into like, if they play against players who don't react to what they're doing, they'll dominate. But if the players even remotely notice them on these flanks, on like these certain type of plays they're gonna make, I think if they can work a little bit on that movement, they'll climb. I wouldn't doubt it if in a little bit they'll be out of silver. Like, I think they'll be in gold very soon, if not in gold already. It looks like the Soldier 76 and the other team has picked up your strategy. At least as I gather from the play of the games. That is a Reinhardt charge by your Rein. Also, something I want to point out to you is you've left that soldier on the high ground for about 3 team fights in a row now, right? Big slam. You've left that Reinhardt, or no, sorry, not that Reinhardt, that soldier there. Think about it, like when they don't go for you, how easy of a time that is. So like, if anything, out of all the players in this lobby, you should know that take away that high ground will be very important. Instead, you're like, my teammates will deal with them. Oh, what a hinder. Oh, what are you going to do when there's hinders like that? Yeah, you have good aim. Oh, big slam. I can't believe it took that long for that Rein to die. All right. Let's see what happens now. What are you going to do here? There's a Cassidy top right. There's a Cassidy top right. Take away that side of the map, it gets rid of that off angle. If you sit on the cart, you're going to do exactly what they... Like, I want you to... Get that Cassidy out of there unless they leave. Okay, they left. You're in a good spot. I have a feeling they weren't going to go for that high ground. Nice shot. Yeah, I wouldn't use your ult here. It's enticing, but I would wait a second. Good job by your Mercy keeping you up there. That was well played. Oh, we got a right-click Randall showing up here. Oh, what a hinder. That was very kind of the Moira to make sure they stood in line of sight there. Just double checking to make sure it was a high noon. They confirmed it. It was. It was a high noon. You know, chat, I've seen the cast swap happen a few times in top 500 now. Is it me, or is Cassidy like a decent matchup against Mauga? Only because you can constantly hit that headshot. I've been seeing it a bit more in top 500, where people are going Cass, and I think it's because of how much damage they can do against Mauga, like right away. Oh, I know what you're going for here. I know what time it is. I know what time it is. It's time for no one to look at you as you high noon. Let's go. Perfect. Love to see it. All right, back to the same spot. Now, what's the reaction by the other team? What is that reaction? Let's find out. All right, they have a Bastion now and a Hog. Okay. Your tank winner, Rissa. Gonna stand in the middle of the open. By the way, a much better result there. And I love the adjustment that the Soldier 76 made in their team. I love seeing them like not letting you sit up there for 2 minutes and actually going for you. Replays my Discord, !point Discord, if you're watching on TikTok or... I don't know if you're watching on YouTube, if you look in the description, or if you're on TikTok, if you look at my link tree, you'll see it there. So just give it to people random ways to find it. Nice shot. I was gonna say, if you stand in that window for too long, the same thing. This is what I mean, by the way. Do you see how, like, you have his tendency just to stand still? You just stood still. That was a free, that is about as free as it gets for a Roadhog against a Cassis. And yeah, the other team now has kind of made an adjustment to how you play, and you haven't really made an adjustment to how you're playing. So because of that, they're finding ways now, whether it's a Soldier 76 taking an off angle, whether it's a Bastion, whether it's a Roadhog, they're finding ways to take advantage of how you're playing. So now it's on you to make slight adjustments or just hit headshots on Soldier 76s. Either or works. This is a good high noon spot in a second. Kill that pylon. Oh, wow, that is certainly a concept or a play that you went with. All right. I want you to kill that pylon when you get a chance. Yeah. A reload high noon? That was one of the most interesting reload high noons I have ever seen. Do you see this, though? Like, do you see how your first reaction is to stand still against the Soldier 76, and then rather than disengage out, you run right back at them? Do you see what you're trying to do there? You're purely relying on your ability to out-aim them, which works sometimes, and it's going to help you a lot. But you need to also think about those situations to where, like, you can't always rely on the Mercy to come and res you right there, right? You can't rely on the teams not to make adjustments to your playstyle. See what I'm saying? Why is the circle there? They made an adjustment, and they go with your position again, by the way. You seeing this? Do you see the difference now, by the way, that this team is adjusted to what you're doing, and you haven't made those adjustments yet? This is what's happening. And your aim is still good. It's not an aim issue. It's certainly not an aim issue, in my opinion. Like, for example, you have been hitting more shots than that Soldier 76, but they've been playing smart with their positioning. It's resulted in what in the world? Love to see it. I'm okay with this play, by the way. I know that's really aggressive, but I'm okay with that. And the reason being is because I would have probably done the same thing after I got ulted. Not the perfect play, but I would have done the same thing. So there you go. You held them. So will you get this win? Will you get this win with 61 limbs? Yes, their final score is 61-19. That's their final score. You're going the correct way, but you're not going where you should go after. Yes. You know what's it's funny because this game, the other team recognized finally what you were doing and made such good adjustments to it that you haven't adjusted to that playstyle yet, and now you're getting rolled. Even though you're hitting your shots, which I once again I want to point out, your aim has been good. I'm not worried about that. Yeah, I mean 19 deaths through like a long game like this, I think that's fine. There it is again. You're playing the same way, and that's why you're struggling to win this game. At a certain point, it's like you need to look at that and be like, okay, they are recognizing I'm going on flanks and just standing still in doorways. We need to adjust that. Otherwise, I'm just going to get rolled over and over again. Do you see what I'm saying? So, like, I think that's the best way to explain it at this point is, like, the way that you're just playing in general. You spend so much time relying on that shot that everything else to you, it does not matter. You're not going for good positioning half the time. You're relying perfectly on, yeah, exactly, being pocketed. Hitting your shots, you just hit 2 headshots on Soldier 76, but they had a healing station, they survived it, and then you get rolled. The real talk is here. Obviously, you lost the game with 61 limbs, but what you need to do is you need to look at how you're playing here, and you need to make those adjustments mid-game. Stop standing in windows. Play more with your team. Play more as a core, if that's how it's going to be. Stop just running into them over and over again. If you just start playing with your team, you'll be fine. But you're not. You're just doing the same thing over and over and over again, and the other team recognizes it. And this isn't a silver game? That's why I say, as you climb, people will start to recognize that more and more often than not, you'll end up losing the game. Start to make those slight adjustments, and I think you'll be good. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, sub to all 3 YouTubes if you haven't. You can watch a lot of awesome videos on there. Pretty much everyday uploads on most of the channels now. So if you want to submit your own spectator, look in the description below. You will see my Discord. That's where you can submit that. Also follow everything in the description, like whether it's my Twitter, my Discord, my Twitch, etc. We record these live on stream. You can see the Twitch chat right there. That's what you're seeing. Stop by if you haven't. With that being said, hope you all have an amazing day/night.